I think a lot of people think because they have a phone, maybe they have a camera, that, I can do it myself.
What is up, everyone? I am Drew. This is...
Hey, guys. Paolo here.
Welcome to the show. We are the Two Stunads. If you have not seen our shows before, this is our interview series. The podcast is specifically, in this sense, in this interview series, talking about young individuals coming on our platform, discussing problems in life, in family, in business, the struggles, the successes, and everything kind of in between. So we appreciate you guys watching this video. Again, if you get anything out of this content, please like and subscribe, share the content. We don't charge you for the content. We don't run ads. We don't have sponsors, anything like that. This is all self-funded for us. That's the one rule that we ask if you get anything out of this content. If you don't get anything out of this content, still share it. Tell people why you don't like it. Either way, we're the Two Stunads. We're going to have a great day. We're going to dive deep in it today. So, Cory, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for finally coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just do a quick little intro with Cory. Cory Lusk. He is here. He owns Calvisions with your father, right? Alan Lusk. It's been around for quite a while, since late 70s, from what I understand. Started out, sounds like you started working in Chuck E. Cheese. That's where you got your start, right? You started making YouTube videos. You started, just kind of the video production guy, and just kind of growing from there. Welcome to the show. So pumped!
Love to have you.
So pumped that you're here. Like we said, typically he's behind the cameras, behind the scenes. Today he's in front of the camera, in front of the scenes. So welcome to the show, Cory.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
It's finally we finally had the time to do it, which is awesome. Does a lot of stuff behind the scenes you guys don't see that makes the show run smooth. He also works in my business with Paolo too. So not just with podcasts and YouTube, but we'll kind of dive into it specifically here. But let's just start off with tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, things like that. We'll kind of dive in.
Yeah, so I grew up in Naperville, Illinois, also known as Naper Thrill.
Naper Thrill.
I'm not a Naperville guy, by the way. But go ahead.
I was born 91, grew up with a brother and sister, younger brother and sister. My dad, obviously, as you mentioned, did video production, kind of grew it from there, worked at Chuck E. Cheese for many, many years. Yes, I was the mouse, and I was very good.
Nice.
Nice. And made YouTube videos, and now do video production full time.
Is Chuck E. Cheese still around?
Oh, of course it is.
I see. Yeah, they've got they've got a location on.
I think I can't tell you the last time I went to Chuck E. Cheese, dude. I think it was a kid.
I'll tell you, there's no more joy that you'll see when your kid does not cry at Chuck E. Cheese. When I brought my son and he met Chucky and did not cry, I was like, he is mine.
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese.
I'm more like a Dave and Buster's kind of guy.
It's kind of the same vibe, but it's for older. That's for
adults. They were the
adults.
original, though, right? Like it's like
Yeah. Showbiz Pizza back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, they used to have Discovery Zone. What, remember Discovery Zone?
I do remember Discovery Zone. That was old.
Yeah, it was. Go Bananas. You ever hear that one?
I don't know if I
A
remember
lot of these
one.
little children theme parks that were out there. You don't see too many of those anymore.
Now we're going to like Two Toots with our kids, the train diner place.
Shout out to Two Toots. Yeah, they've got a little train that delivers your food.
Oh,
yeah.
Terrible food, but great experience.
Food's amazing. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Food's delicious.
Funny story. That's actually where we started about the podcast. We actually talked about that, and we actually have a photo that we'll put up. Anyways, but yes, we'll put a photo. That's where we started. Two Toots in Glen Ellen.
Yeah.
But god awful food.
You're really selling it.
They got this like mechanical horse. You just bleed quarters, dude. Just get $10 a quarter. You just bleed quarters.
Listen, I love Two Toots.
We timed it too.
We did time it.
It's like 40 seconds or something
I
like
think
that.
it's a little bit more than that.
But good thing you're not taking sponsorships, because I do not think they would be sponsoring you guys after that endorsement.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, all right. Grew up in Naperville. 2 siblings. Dad started a business. How'd you get into videography? I mean, you said you did YouTube videos growing up, high school.
So I think I just grew up with it because my dad did it. So I kind of experienced that world and saw that world. It took me sometimes to his office to see like the studio, everything like that. We had a camcorder, and I just loved kind of making videos with my friends. And then when YouTube started, I was like, oh man, I'm so funny, and these videos are so good that I'll just make YouTube videos and I'll be famous off that. And it didn't quite work out that way.
It's tough.
But
it's tough.
No, it is. It is. Well, also I was very like, I I really didn't understand marketing in a sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's something I'm still even learning more of now, but I've learned a lot more recently, because before I was like, I'm so just unbelievably talented and funny that everyone's going to think that, which is not the case.
Confidence.
Like,
I love the confidence.
you have to wear the confidence, right?
Yeah. I mean, marketing and sales is in every business, from healthcare to videography to whatever it is. It's in every business, whether you want to believe it or not. There's marketing and sales in every business. And if you're not good at them, you're not going to succeed. Somebody else is going to beat you, which is huge,
100%. Very true.
But so first memory of doing a video, what is it?
A first memory I remember is like doing like a Saw spoof we did when I was maybe in like 7th grade.
What the hell is that?
Saw, like the Saw films.
Saw.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because I was
yes.
like, oh, we'll do a spoof of the movie Saw.
Oh,
yeah.
And like, because before when I used to film my videos, again, naturally hilarious, that I was like, oh, we'll just let the camera roll. Where I didn't really know about like, oh, we should cut and do different
raw
takes
footage.
and stuff like that. I was like, let's just do it that way.
Sure.
So that's one of my earlier memories I remember of like actually like making a production. Or I'm sorry, with my sister, I made like with the action figures with the Godzilla. My dad like lit a match behind it to make the smoke, and then he ate my sister's Barbies, which he was not a fan of. And so that's one of my earlier memories of like making something, I guess, or filming something.
What about? Go ahead.
And then you watched it, you took it out. It was on VHS, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, it was all like the tapes and stuff
And
like
you
that.
pulled it out, you put it into the VCR, you watched it, you're like, that's me on TV. It was probably a great feeling, right?
It's true. Well, I actually was on TV a few times. So my dad did Enchanted Castle, or commercials for Enchanted Castle. So we would have like a birthday party themed there, and they'd be like, "Oh, we'll film a commercial," and we'd be able to invite our friends and do that.
That's cool.
I did something with I'm saying I did it, like I am the one that got it, but my dad with Fisher Price, I think, like safety stuff. So like my job was to come and show that, oh, look, I can't open the toilet seat and throw a toy in there because the safety lock.
Sure.
So
All that little stuff.
that's
Now,
where I got my first big break.
what about your first memory of like your first actual professional video where you're like, fuck, dude, this is good?
I was making YouTube videos. I did like some stuff for like my friend's dad had like a football league, or I had a football team in a football league, like a local football league. But I remember Wingstop had a competition where it was like, oh, the best commercial will put it in the Super Bowl and you'll get $10,000. And I was like, oh my God, that's for us. So I got in touch with local Wingstop in Aurora. I was like, that's a great idea for a video. It's going to be these guys coming in, getting the boneless wings. They're going to get 100. They're going to open the suitcase. It's going to be like the gold light, kind of like Pulp Fiction.
Sure.
And we're like, oh, boneless wings. And so we scheduled with the guy to shoot it. I remember we came in there first and the door was open. We opened it. The alarms went off. And we're like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And then the cops came and had to talk to us and go inside. And they're like, yeah, someone probably set the alarm, forgot to lock the door. But so we did the video. We didn't win.
Dude, you should have recorded that.
Surprising. I had a buddy that asked
Somebody's
the
breaking
cop,
into Wingstop,
he was like,
getting
can
wings?
my buddy was like, hey, can you like cuff me and put me against the hood of the car and I can take a picture for Facebook? And they're like, no, we're not doing that. And I was like, oh, okay. But so the general manager of that location was like, hey, can you do a commercial for us? Like, that'd be really cool. And I printed a contract. I didn't know what I was doing with it. I was like, oh, $150. We'll do a 30-second ad. And I had this whole ad campaign because they were between two high schools, like Metea and Neuqua Valley. I was like, oh, what we'll do is they'll go to like a visionary person. I can't think of the name of it.
Okay.
And like, we'll take this crystal ball, we'll put a lantern underneath it to make it look like it's glowing, and they're going to decide who's the better school. Oh, who's going to win the basketball game? Oh, if you go to Wingstop and you show your school ID, you get a free drink and, with your order.
Sure. Yeah.
And I remember I thought so great of it. I was like, oh, it's such a great video. It was shot well. I edited well. I had good sound effects. I was very, very proud of myself.
Yeah.
And then when I gave it to the guy, he's like, yeah, this is good. And he went to get my money and gave me $50. And I was like, oh, well, we agreed on $150. He's like, well, no, we're just going to pay you $50. And I remember everyone telling me, like, well, didn't he sign a contract? You have to sue him. And I remember talking to my dad. I was like, should we sue him? And I was like, it was $150.
Or $150.
You're going to spend so much
It was the
money
manager of Wingstop?
in court fees. Yeah, I think it was a franchised one.
What's his name? We'll call him
I
out.
couldn't remember.
Get him on the show.
I don't remember.
I want to talk to him.
But I remember my dad telling me that. I was like, it's just not worth it, And I've kind of taken that with some things when I've had clients. I've had some people not pay me where it's like,
Really?
Yeah, I've had, unfortunately, a few, where you just go, sometimes,
that,
it's
dude.
worth it. No, I know.
You gotta
No
ask-
shot on doing that.
Before, hang on. First, let me just say, because you said one thing earlier and you completely contradicted yourself. You said that you're not good at marketing. You're not, dude. You wrote all that whole script. You wrote.
That's
you put all
true.
You crushed it.
I have like those like pops of like, whoa, like where did that come from?
That's awesome.
You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But moving on, you should definitely get some sort of, written forms, agreement,
No,
right?
I agree. Well, we did have that. I know it's something. So my dad started in '79, and he actually had a company they did a video for. I think it was like a $50,000 project. It was a big project, and the company went under, and they just didn't get paid.
Back in '79,
and he was
fucking
like,
big money.
You know, you got to be careful with stuff like that. You know, he's like, you can't trust anybody. And then I'll have someone that will screw me over or whatever, and I'll be like, man, I'm never gonna let this happen again. But then I'll work with
like.
It all depends. I don't know. One of them I just found, like, some people, when I first started, I didn't know how to call people and sell. So I just signed up for like Upwork and Thumbtack.
Sure.
And
all that
found
stuff.
people through there and stuff like that. But like if Dr. Drew like stiffed me and didn't pay me, I'd be like, I'm never gonna let that happen again. But then if you hired me, I'd be like, you know, hey, that's fine. We don't need a contract. That's fine. Like I am in some ways a very bad businessman.
Sure.
I'm a very trustworthy person. It's not good. I acknowledge that.
Corey.
I know. I'm aware.
Yeah.
I'm aware. It's not. I'm not saying this is good advice. This is bad advice. You should have contracts. You should. You know,
It's
a lot
good
more
that you're
times
aware of it, though.
we require down payments and stuff like that for projects.
Sure.
And you know, I have been getting better at it. You know? So
Don't you get pissed off?
I think the only time I got pissed off was the person that maybe like it was like $500 they stiffed me from was because I knew him for a long time. So like I kind of grew with him. He came to my wedding. You're the kind of invited himself. He came to my wedding and like we had this big project and he just, it was just this crazy experience and it taught me a lot and stuff like that and really hurt. I think that one hurt me because I feel like I've been like, I've had panic attacks before. And that was like the first time I really was like, oh man, this is what a panic attack
What
really
did he stiff you
like.
for?
It was 500.
That's not bad. I mean,
Yeah,
it
no,
sucks,
it's
but
not. No,
it's a learning lesson.
It's not exactly.
Should have learned then, though. Dude.
I know.
But going forward, you've got contracts.
I have. No, I bought like I have a contract that was written up that I can kind of just put in companies' names and make it a lot easier. So I make sure I have those things signed because you should have contracts.
Yeah.
Sure.
But it's part of the growing pains of owning a business and doing your own thing, right?
And that's what we're highlighting on this show.
The tough thing too is like I started with my dad, so he started in '79, so he's got a mindset of like how things should be, and I think I have my mindset for being younger. Then also you work with your father, so like you don't want to succumb to like, oh, he's always right. You want to be like, no, I know what I'm doing,
Sure.
And so I think there's a little bit of
push pull.
push pull with that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had a lot of problems with that because before when we first started, I was living at home. So when we had an office, well, we still have an office, but you know, we would drive together, we'd drive home. So we would just never have that break from each other.
Yeah.
So we'd always like, you know, especially when we're starting, you're like,
talking about
hey, you
work
do
all
anything with
day.
sales? Like what's going on? And you know, you just carry that with you where now like, you know, we have the separation, so it's a lot easier.
Sure. Your dad still work with you?
He does. Yeah.
Full time, or is he like?
I'd say he still is part full time. Yeah. I mean, he loves it. You know, he'll do it until he can.
I've never met him, but
Yeah.
Never have I.
And he won't.
Is he doing a lot of the editing? Does he do talk to me what he does?
So he does like the admin stuff. Deals with some of the marketing stuff and then sales and stuff like that.
Okay.
So he kind of has all that experience of kind of like, well, this is what you need to do. This is this. And so he's been kind of pulling a little bit more of a back seat because he was kind of like, oh, I'm kind of dealing with everything. But he's kind of like, well, you need to be the forefront of everything.
so he's more admin than you're more production.
Exactly.
On site.
Yeah. When he owned the company, he was more sales owner. I mean, he did camera stuff at the beginning. He didn't really do editing. I mean, he would like, I'll send him projects to be like, hey, can you review this? Give me your thoughts and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the help that he provides with that.
What other issues are you dealing with business, or what do you think that you need to get better at?
I think something that I've recently gotten very good at is you can't do it all yourself. I think I felt that way, like, you know, I don't need anybody. I can do it myself. Don't need to ask help. I actually had a production company a long time ago that I like interviewed to work with. It was like filming puppies, and they didn't hire me because I got the video to them late because I had another project. So it just like I couldn't get the 24-hour turnaround time. But I lived close. They said, hey, can you come and play with the puppies so the other guy we hired can film them? And I was like, well, that's cool. Like I was being paid nothing. Yeah, it was like $50.
Just making sure.
But like it was nice though because you could play with puppies for 2 hours.
I mean,
so
hey.
you know. But one day he was like in Virginia and his car broke down. He's like, I can't make it. So they had me come in and shoot it. ended up being like 30 dogs. It was a lot of dogs we had to shoot. So I had a friend to come in and play with the dogs. And then I had to edit all the videos, and I just never, I didn't remember how to exactly do it. And I just struggled and I did it, and I messed it up. I really screwed up.
Okay.
And I remember the guy called me and was like, what the F are you doing? What happened? Like, why would you do this? This is all screwed up. Now I got to sit down with this client and I got to figure this out because you screwed it up. And I remember then he called me like, it was like just before Christmas too. So he called me the next day, which might have been like December 23rd. Mm-hmm. He was like, look, man, I'm really sorry I yelled at you. I never should have yelled at you. And I remember stopping him. I was like, no, dude, this was your client. I screwed it up. I messed that up, you know? And he's like, look, man, if you have problems, just ask there's no shame in asking for help. I understand you're young. I can do it myself. I can do it. There's no shame in asking for help. And so I've been doing everything myself since then. I've brought in people to help shoot stuff, but recently who is here and helping is Taylor. I got introduced to her from my teacher.
Taylor, shout out Taylor.
From Illinois Media School. And so, you know, a lot of people like I would get that would kind of help. They were all starting out. So they weren't like editors that, I've been doing it for years and years. It was kind of just starting out, like getting into the field. And she just picked it up so fast. I was like, you know, she just got it. Cause like, there's a thing where like, I tell people like, I can teach you how to edit. That's not a problem. I can teach you how to, you know, cut and dissolve and stuff like that. But there's sometimes like a feel with editing you just can't teach. And so that was something that she just kind of picked up. I was like, you know what? Go ahead and do this. And so it worked out. And so now that's given me a lot more time, because before I would just get so bogged down with so many different projects that, you know, you get overwhelmed. You're just like, oh, what do I do? What do I do?
Where do I
You
start?
don't get anything done. Yeah,
absolutely.
And so now having somebody helping, it's kind of easier to kind of grow. So that's what I would say is any advice is you can't do it yourself.
How many people you got on your team, or if it worked for you?
Right now, it's just the three of us.
Three of you guys?
Yeah. With the exception of like contractors that we bring in for shoots that are like bigger productions we need and stuff like that.
What type of productions do you guys focus on?
Not weddings. But so
why?
I just never really. Yeah, it's not the long
Big
days
money makers,
that
though, right?
matter. They are now. So when I first started, I had like a friend that worked at Cheese with me. I was like, "Can you shoot my wedding?" I was like, "Yeah, I can do it for like $300-500, which wasn't a lot of money anyway."
That's nothing. What year was this?
This was maybe 2013, maybe.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I mean, still too little, but
great deal.
But I remember I told her that, and she was like, didn't answer me. I was like, well, what's going on? She's like, oh, well, you know, it's kind of a lot. We were hoping to give you like $100. My grandpa's in the hospital, and that's why we want it filmed. I was like, come on. Like, I'm not. I mean, I feel bad, but I'm like, you can't let emotions get involved, because otherwise you're
it's
never
business.
gonna. Yeah, exactly. You know, but so I never enjoyed it enough to get into it, because right now, I mean, I see people like charge like $6,000 to shoot a wedding and stuff like that, but it's just something I just didn't enjoy. I work a lot with local businesses. I think that's what I really enjoy, is because even though I used to work at Chuck E. Cheese. I love Chuck E. Cheese. I truly, truly loved it. It was the same thing. It was Monday to Thursday. You're getting ready for Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
The biggest days of the week.
With video, it was kind of like, oh, I did something with the mental health board, and then now I'm doing something with you and Ford's like chiropractic, but then now I'm going to like a workshop and film this, and I'm doing something with the police union, and so it's all these different things that you just kind of learn about, and you get to learn about people. And so I think that's what really interested me, is to work with like those local businesses. So that's kind of the projects we like to do. For
sales and stuff, how do you guys like network for like jobs and clients?
That's something I've been starting to get into. So originally I used to, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier or maybe deja vu, was that I just thought I was so talented that like people are just going to hire me.
Yeah.
And that was kind of it. And when we first started the business, we got some of my dad's, Alan's older clients that hired us. It wasn't a lot, but it was a little bit here or there. And then I kind of would send out like cold emails. I used Upwork and Thumbtack, which funny enough, Upwork actually worked out extremely well for me, because I met a mutual contact of ours, was Dr. Dan.
Shout out to
Daniel
Dr. Dan Bay.
Yeah, he posted something that he was looking for a videographer. It was in Frankfurt. Didn't say he was a chiropractor, didn't say anything. But I filmed with the chiropractor's office in Frankfurt. I said, I filmed with the chiropractor's office in Frankfurt. You know, so I traveled there. And he replied back, he's like, you done your research? I didn't know what he did. I didn't know. And he had me come out, and we worked together, and it just kind of, 2019 was the first time I worked with him in the summer. And been doing it ever since.
That's awesome.
Unfortunately.
No,
that's a great dude.
We have a great relationship. We have a very love-hate, jokingly relationship.
Sure. Yeah. No, that's tough though. Like sales and stuff. Like, is it just people calling you, or you guys don't do any outbound outreach?
So that's what I've been starting to get a little bit more into. So before, I think, and that's why it's nice having someone else a part of the team, because you're able to kind of do that.
Sure.
Because I was so busy, I was like, I need more clients, but I don't have the capacity to go out and do it. So something that I've been doing a little bit more of is I've been trying to post a little bit more on LinkedIn and doing more videos, because I'm like, I can't be a production company and tell you, hey, you need videos for your business. And you go, where are your videos? And you go, no, we don't do that. Like,
yeah. I don't even know do you have a Instagram, Facebook, and stuff like that?
So I have an Instagram. I really don't post on it. I actually just was in West Palm Beach, Florida, filming the Closet Association.
Oh, wow.
And they were like, wow, you do such a great job. Like, what's your Instagram? I was like, oh, I don't really post on there. Like, you're a photographer, videographer. You don't have Instagram.
Dude, we got to get that, Cory.
And I was like, no, I know. But I've been really focusing on like LinkedIn and YouTube are the two ones. I'm like trying to focus on those two platforms.
Those are your biggest
those are my biggest ones
leads.
and stuff like that right now. Yeah. So I've been doing that. Now I've been trying to go to more networking events. That way then you kind of build that list, because the biggest thing I learned with videos, and this is what I talk to. I have a few clients that kind of debate me with this. Like, they'll do videos and they're like, hey, I want my content videos to be like, hire me. You should hire me because this. I was like, no. It's not like that anymore. It's more like your content videos should be giving value to somebody, and your video asset should be selling yourself. It should really be like, hey, are you dealing with back pain? Here's some ways you can deal with it at home. If you need any more help, let me know. So you're not really like acting, because people don't like being sold to.
No.
No,
they don't.
And that's kind of the thing. You just kind of do those videos and people see them, and then, if they actually do need help, they go, oh, you know what? I've been seeing this guy's videos. Like, I should reach out to him.
Yeah. That's one way to think of it. I don't know if I agree 100%.
Yeah.
With that.
What parts do you disagree with? I want to know. I'm kind of curious.
Well, go back to refer to me. You said, like, hey, you're doing like this tips and tricks or whatever.
So I kind of break videos down into two different categories. There's your video content and there's your video assets. So your content is more like your social media stuff that just kind of goes on Facebook, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, whatever, that people are scrolling through and seeing. So it doesn't really have a long shelf life. Obviously, it's still alive on the platform, but it kind of has this big boost of views and then kind of just every once in a while. So I think those are better, more educational, behind the scenes, funny stuff, not as much selling. Not that you can't be like, hire me through those videos, but it shouldn't be the main focus. Where your video assets are like your brand story videos, your testimonials, your process videos that are more on your website that you do occasionally share, but shouldn't be like the content piece that's like, hire me.
That's a huge debate, because people don't want to sell, right? Like, I'm in healthcare, so people are like, oh, like, what do you mean you sell? I mean, I don't actually like sell a product, right? I sell a service for somebody, just like you sell a service, right? You're a service-based business. But I could have tips and tricks all day. That's not going to get people through the door.
Right.
Not at all. Then as far as a referral stream from like an outbound or cold lead, right? Like if it's a inbound lead where they referred to me or they drove by or whatever, because you got to understand the consumer is extremely smart, right? If you were to post something on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram and you were to say, hey, I need the best videographer here, I can guarantee you somebody's going to hit you up or send you something. Hey, I use so-and-so for my wedding, for this, for that, blah, 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 blah. And you're going to vet that person, right? Are you not? You're going to look at their socials. Yeah. So right off the bat, you're already laid down because you don't have a social.
Well, on Instagram.
On Instagram. You know what I'm saying?
Website?
I do have a website.
You have a website?
That what I'm trying to express is that the consumer is so smart now with social media,
it is.
With the internet, that you're limiting yourself in that sense, because nowadays it's all about branding. If you have brand exposure, which is essentially expressing your value, right? For those testimonials, those types of things. Yes, that's going to be in somebody's constant face and show you that the value, this is why you should come to us versus somebody else, right? And then you throw in those other things, whatever it is for videography. Hey, this is the best way to edit this video, or hey, this is how we do on the backside. This is the behind the scenes of a shoot or whatever it is. But you still have to have some sort of sales process with those, or else there's no ask. There's no call to action.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Even if you get them on the hook and they're interested in your content, right, and they subscribe to you or they have your stuff in front of them, you still have to lead them in a sense to why you're better and how do you get them in the door. Because you could just make videos all day, and we see it in plenty of businesses, in my profession too. You make great videos, but nobody's coming in the door. I don't give a shit if you got 100,000 Instagram followers. It doesn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying?
So I think what I mean, though, is not like every video. Like I said, with this specific client, they do like every piece is hire me. And that's where I feel like people get annoyed.
Turned off.
Seeing that.
100%.
I don't mean to say that like you should never make a video
Sure.
that says hire me, but it just shouldn't be the main focus of every piece.
You know, as far as what they're putting out there.
Exactly.
So,
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But no, you are right though. There is a sense of brand
what
and be everywhere.
What sector of business is it, if you don't mind me asking?
They do custom lighting.
It's like, I don't know, like lightology in Chicago, like fixtures and
like holiday lighting.
Okay,
Holiday lighting, yeah.
Big seasonal stuff like that.
Yeah. They've actually introduced like Halloween, Easter, Valentine's Day, 4th of July, St. Patrick's Day.
Sure.
They actually got some really cool lights.
Those holidays are getting more popular.
No,
now.
it is.
I mean, you're in the marketing space, Paul. What do you think? I mean, am I wrong?
No. I think you guys are both correct in a sense. What I wanted to throw in was, what I haven't heard yet was you always want to be selling, or you don't want to be selling to the customer, which, like you said, they know. They can sniff it out.
Yeah.
They can say, "I'm out of here. This guy's just selling to me." And you don't want to be doing it all the time. What I like to see, and this is something I recommend quite a bit, is if you got a chiropractic service, if you got a chiropractic business, you're not selling, I'm gonna crack you and this and that. And this is what you do already, so you're doing a good job, is you're selling the jobs to be done. That's a term that they use in the marketing industry, where it's like, instead of selling somebody a car, you're selling them the opportunity. They're getting the opportunity to drive back and forth to work, to bring their kids to school, to pick up the groceries. That's what they're getting. They're not getting a car.
The results.
They're getting the result.
Exactly.
The result.
Yeah.
No,
that
I
goes
agree.
right back to Dan Bay. We'll get we'll get to him.
Yeah.
So with clothes for chiros and sales and stuff like that. But no, like I think that like we need to do that for you.
Yeah.
No, I know. That's something I need
I'm
to
here
focus
for you,
more on.
brother.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
something
here
I'm
for
still learning and trying to do more of, because I feel like I have that little bit of like, I don't like people selling to me. And so like,
Right.
also
Well,
I
you don't
feel
even
like
know.
I have that. Oh, no, I know.
Exactly.
I have that
Because they're not
old,
actually selling to you. They're actually giving you the result that you want.
No, exactly. It's something I'm working on. And I've been monitoring more, working more on the website to make it more of a process of like, why should I not just like,
Yeah.
we have a cool video and a cool testimonial, but like kind of the process of it. So it's something I am working on.
Yeah. No, it's a process, bro.
We're going through it now. I mean, we're constantly pivoting in our business. We're working with an agency right now, and we're just going through that process of separating ourselves in different buckets. But it's a learning experience on our end too, because there's things that are changing constantly in the market, just like with you. Then you have politics, and then you have cost of goods, everything in between.
Well, that's where it's kind of the interesting thing too, is because Alan started in '79, so it was very different with production. Where it was like you couldn't really go and film a commercial yourself. You needed like cameras that cost tens of thousands of dollars. An editing studio cost $500,000. Where now it's like you can get a phone at Verizon and you can shoot and edit and post your own stuff.
It's easier.
So it's a lot different of a world. And so I think when we had between him and I kind of that, well, how does it evolve and how does it change? Especially because I learned from him where he had this older mindset where now it's like different.
Sure. What is like a typical like videographer charge? Like, I just know you and I was referred to you, so I trust you, but I never worked with any other videographer. We've been working together for a while. So
it all depends on the kind of company you're using and the process. Like I know Alan, my dad, worked with an ad agency a little bit. He did a little sales with them after his business went under, and they were charging like $50,000 for a commercial, and it was like I think to Walmart maybe or something like that. And it was like when they were comparing the receipts to like different grocery stores, be like, oh, see, Walmart's cheaper.
I remember.
And
those
it was
commercials.
like simple. It was a simple thing. Now, granted, they probably just didn't shoot. They probably came up with the idea and everything like that. But I think they charged like $50,000 for that. But it's kind of just like
it's like a 30-second ad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of overhead with that though. Like, is there a lot of like editing and
Like, what's the cost for you? Like, if you say, hey, we want to do a 30-second ad, and I need this, and this done, you're obviously going to give me.
Yeah, of course. Well, I think the biggest thing is you always have to ask like, okay, so what does the ad entail? Because like the problem is before when Alan started, it used to be like you charge like $1,000 for every minute produced. So if you did a 3-minute commercial, it'd be $3,000 or something like that. But the problem is now is not every minute is created equally. So if you're doing a speech, said, hey, I want you to film this speech and edit the video. Well, let's say you talk for an hour. I'm gonna charge you $60,000 for that. Like that'd be wild.
How much production goes into
exactly?
that
So it kind of
60
depends
minutes or
on
whatever
that.
the timeline is.
and now there's so many different people that are doing video production. I was a part of like some groups that talked about that, and I remember seeing like it just all depends on, I guess, location, who you are, and stuff like that, what you're doing, what's entailed, the equipment that's needed, the people that are there.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of different
there's no
elements.
like set standard. You set your own fees.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not really a set. I mean, I guess for like grips, like if you're like, oh, I'm hiring a camera operator for the day.
Sure.
Okay, well, you can expect to pay like $400 to $800 a day for a camera operator with their equipment.
Sure.
Lighting rig would probably cost $1,200 for a day for a lighting guy. So those things are kind of set in stone. But like with video production companies, it's just kind of everybody's different.
Do you ever
with what they offer.
Do you ever feel like you don't charge enough?
I think before I definitely felt that way.
Which was how long ago?
When you were first starting out? Or?
Yeah, I mean, when I was first starting out, I felt great about what I did and stuff like that. I think it was later on, maybe like, I think funny enough, after working with Dr. Dan, I think a little bit, I kind of learned a little bit more about that because he talks, for anyone that doesn't know Dr. Dan, he has a company called Close for Chiro, teaches chiropractors how to get the yes with less stress. And so he talks about, you should charge your fees, like your fees are your fees. And so I think I learned a lot about that just because I would just think like, oh man, I want to get the job. I got to be cheap. I got to do whatever, I can to get it. Like I would do jobs where I'd be like, oh, this is going to be, $2,800. And they'd be like, well, I can really only do like $600. Yeah, that's fine. We can make it work, and I would just do it and just do the extra work because I just wanted to get it.
Now, experience.
Exactly. And I think there's things where like, that's where I learned it getting in. But really, when I was just trying to get reels, I should have really I saw someone talk about this. I don't remember what their name was, but they're like, oh, you should go out to companies, give them a quote for the price, but cross it off. So that way they know you're doing it for free, but this is how much you actually would charge for it. So they'd have that idea. Because if you're doing it for free, you're doing them a favor. We're doing it for cheap. You're cheap.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of hard to shake that. But
well, there's a lot that goes into.
There's a lot of stuff that I didn't think about.
Sure.
Because I think I just look at it like, this is what I want to get paid. This is what Alan's get paid. This is what we need to pay Taylor or whatever. Like, that's fine. But then you don't really think about like, well, but you need insurance. What if somebody hurts themselves on set? You need, we have a building, you have security, you've got subscriptions, you've got taxes, you've got all, it's just stuff that I was very ignorant to think about.
Well, it's, you're a young entrepreneur in business. It happened to me too. You figure it out.
Yeah.
And undercharging, I feel like that's something that all business owners, at least go through or touch a little bit. Maybe you're an exception, Drew, but I mean, I feel like,
dude, you guys fucking busted my balls today.
Please, dude, come on. No, but seriously, like everyone's like, oh, I need to get exposure for it. Do I have what it takes to do what this? Let me just get my foot in the door. I'll charge them this, and then after some reps, after some good clients, you're like, fuck, I could do this. I got this. I know what I'm doing. This is the price.
No, I think it's good to do that, especially because like when we got into it, it was very different. So I didn't go to like. We started the business before I even went to like school. I went to COD for like a semester, but I kind of just went off from what I already knew and was able to learn on the internet. So I didn't go to college. I ended up going to a trade school for video, which didn't really teach me as much as I wanted to. They kind of gave me some good connections, but they never do. But so I kind of learned as I went. So I didn't really like have as much experience to be able to go like, I could charge you $3,000 for this commercial because like I didn't really know what I was doing enough.
Right.
Like, that's why I think it's easy to look back and go like, oh, like this project wasn't very good. This one could have been better. But I posted something, this was a little while ago, where I had my original Calvision's logo, which was atrocious. It was horrible. It looked horrible. But it was a buddy of mine that was like doing graphic design, that was just kind of going to school for it and made it. And every time I remember getting the memory from when I first posted it, being like, yeah, like this is awesome.
Yeah.
And I would get the Facebook memory, and I finally was like, I'm going to share it. I'm going to share every logo I've ever had done or made myself or whatever. And been like, I used to cringe at this, but like, it's like, you got to look where you started and where you're at now.
Exactly,
that's the biggest thing. I mean, it's a little easier for me to see visually where you can't really look back at patients and be like, man, I really didn't fix that guy's back. Like,
I don't let you down, dude.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you first started or anything like that, just as a visual representation, easier for me to see visually where I was and stuff like that. So
do you see yourself as the best? Like, do you like, hey man, I'm the best?
I think in a lot of ways I do.
Yeah.
I think I do a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, because I asked the question because sometimes that's like a common question. People are like, oh, I don't know if I'm the best. Or like, like maybe because of the lack of experience or just insecurity, or they're not?
I think before, so I think I dealt with a lot of imposter syndrome of like, am I actually good? Like, because like I said, we're a video production company. We're telling people to do videos, but if we weren't doing videos ourselves, it's like, why would anybody hire us? And I'm very good with people. I like to talk to people. I think I'm very approachable, talkable, funny.
You are. I agree with that.
But when I made videos for Calvisions, like I was just like a deer in the headlights, and it was horrible. And because I feel like I'd be like, why am I talking about testimonials? Like nobody cares, nobody likes me. Like these other people know better than me, and so it took me a while to feel comfortable to talk about my own thing when I felt like I was like, at a point where I was like, oh, you know what, I'm good enough, I can talk about this.
How do you quantify, like, how good are you? Like if I was to say, hey, Cory, I got a buddy in, Florida or whatever, needs a videographer. What are some things that like he needs to basically vet out to make sure that he's the best guy to do the job? Like what would, like if you were to hire somebody, right, like Taylor.
Yeah.
Besides obviously maybe experience, or like what would you say like for the viewers, like, hey, if you need a videographer, these are the things that are standard that you got to have. If you don't, just walk away from the guy.
So I think the biggest thing is I would make sure you jive together, that you guys are on the same levels. Yeah, connect, because I think some people will just hire based on price and they don't make sure that because you're working very intimately with somebody. Like I used to always joke about like the over-the-shoulder client. When you're filming a video on the client's over the shoulder because they want to make sure the project's good. And I've seen people talk about it. They're like, oh, it's so annoying when I deal with this. How do I deal with them? I was like, but you shouldn't look at it that way, because they're hiring you to represent their brand. They're nervous about it. You need to make sure you have that. You're able to build that trust. I think something else to make sure that they understand your vision and that they're not looking at it as like, all right, you're hiring me, you're my client, but that we're collaborating together, and that when you talk about your vision, that they are able to give feedback and kind of thoughts about what they think and stuff like that. And I think it's just to make sure that they know what you're looking for. Because I think a lot of businesses, I know we talk about, oh, who's the best and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, there's always gonna be someone that's better than you. And I think it's just kind of to understand, like, do they understand where I'm coming from and why I'm different from other people? Because you don't want, to come in where you're like, oh, I'm different because of X, but they come in, they're like, no, you need to focus on why. Unless they give you a reason. They need to give you reasons of why they want to focus on this. Like if you're like, I want to focus on our office, they go, no, you need to focus on your front desk. Well, why? They need to be able to explain kind of their reasoning and just work with you. I think that's the biggest thing, is to make sure it's collaborative.
Mm-hmm. That would be weird. Like if somebody came in and
told
me like what I need to focus on. I'm like, dude, this is my market. What do you mean?
Exactly.
It's weird. I can see it happening.
And it's one of those things because they think, oh, I'm the expert. I know what you need to do, but everybody's different. And everybody, just provides differently. I remember I worked with a chiropractor a long time ago. He was a good guy, but he struggled with his practice. And I remember when I first met him, I called him for like a trade because my girlfriend needed a chiropractor. And so I was like, hey, would you do videos like for a trade and stuff like that? And I remember I met him, and when I first walked in the office, it was very professional. Hello, like, doctor, pleasure to meet you. He's like, yo, what the fuck is up, broski? Like, and brought me in like, yo, this is how I bring it down. I don't do that care plan stuff. They come in, I adjust them. They come in when they need to. Like, all right. Like I said, okay, perfect. We talked, and I said, all right, hey, pleasure to meet you. Put my hand out, and he looked at my hands. Get out of here, man. Come on, broski. Bring it in. Give me a big old hug. And then we filmed the video. So he got in and was like, hello, I am Doctor, and this is the chiropractic office that we do. I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, where was your personality there? And he's like, no, people don't want to see that. And I was like, no. People want to know
that's
who
very
they're
interesting.
Talking to. Like,
yeah, sure.
And that's why, like, when I first made my videos, I was always like, I had to be professional and like this and that. But I was like, no, you know what? I'm a kind of a goofy guy. Mm-hmm. Like, just run with it. If people don't want to work with me because of that, then that's fine. Like, I don't want to work with everybody, and
I love that.
Can't please everybody.
Exactly. You can't, and you shouldnly play it with as a community. You should just be yourself. If you like making jokes, make jokes. Have it a fun experience, stuff like that. But that's something that I noticed. I remember very early on, and then obviously with Dr. Dan, that's what authenticity is new currency. He likes to say,
yep,
which is very true. So
100% agree with that. Well, tell us about your family. I know you got a wife, kids.
Yeah.
Kid. I got one kid,
okay.
2-year-old. Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
And he's awesome. We actually did a commercial a year ago with SBC Waste Management. and my son loves trucks right now because he's 2.
Sure.
And so I emailed them and said, my son loves your trucks. I said, hey man, like it made my son's day. They honk, they wave at him. And there's a story here. It's not just a random. But so he sent me a bunch of swag. I said, man, I'm gonna get a shot of my son reacting to the truck. And when I got the camera set up, my son, like I kind of showed him, he was kind of looking at it. I was like, oh, this is the viewfinder. This is where you look at it. So he was up by the street. And then when a bus came, he was like, oh, and like ran back to the camera and like put his eye like to the lens to look to see what the frame was. And I was like, oh my God, like he doesn't know anything, but I was like, that was such a proud moment. Such a cool, that he kind of was like into that. But yeah, so I have him, I have my wife, Lauren, who we've been married to for a few years. And so it's been pretty cool.
How'd you guys meet?
God, it's one of those classic, just like I decided to swipe left or right, whichever the positive one was, you know?
I don't even know. Dude, that wasn't even around when I found my wife.
So I don't know. We just kind of met that way and then went on a date.
That's awesome.
And I did a magic trick. Yeah, she's down from Homer Glen, so a little more south and stuff like that. But yeah, I did a magic trick.
Oh, nice.
And we just kind of
hit it off. I didn't know you knew how to do magic.
Like that.
That's awesome.
I dabbled before in the arts, but I haven't. Really? I haven't practiced it in a while. I should because my son's now 2, so he's gonna start kind of.
He's gonna love those magic tricks.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Do you take your son to the office and stuff, or?
I brought him.
Obviously he's 2,
I brought him there and stuff like that, but I haven't brought him to anything big or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you want to?
I would love to, yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to be working with Enchanted Castle again, so I'm like, oh man, he could be in the commercials.
Yeah,
like,
that's pretty sweet.
So I actually used him for an ad with Dr. Dan.
Oh, did you?
That's awesome.
Did. Yeah.
Did I see? I don't think I saw that ad.
Yeah.
Maybe I did.
It was 2 separate ads or videos. I don't know if they ran as ads, but it was one where Dr. Dan was holding him as a baby and his dog and being like, oh, how to get views, like kind of joking like that. And the second one was I had the idea where Dr. Dan was like, man, I'm really struggling with sales. Like, I don't want to use clothes for Cairo. They charge too much, but do you think you can help me? And then it cut, and it was my son with a headset on, like they was talking to him. And it's kind of like, you know.
Yeah, dude, he's smart.
And I thought it was so funny.
Down. DB, man.
That was my idea.
Oh,
just to clarify, that was my idea.
Dude, you've got the strategy down. You've got the creative.
That one was mine idea.
That's amazing.
He has some great ideas, but that one was mine.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be awesome when he gets older and you kind of funnel him in.
No, exactly. Yeah. So it's been a great experience, and everything with my wife too has helped a lot with it. I think she changed a lot of my mindset with business and just kind of helped me strive to be better and to understand better and stuff like that. And she's helped me with shoots before when I had a project where I was like, I don't know if like we got travel. I don't know if I can hire someone to travel. It's going to cost this. She's like, well, I'll take off work and I'll come with you and help.
Awesome.
And she's done a great job, you know.
What does she do?
She is a raw food analyst at Newlywed Foods.
What does that mean?
A raw food analyst?
Does she taste the foods?
No. So she's just on a computer, just looking at ingredients and emailing the clients, but like, oh, this is this and all that stuff. So it's just kind of busy work. I mean,
somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's good work.
I don't know what that entails, but it seems like it's pretty data oriented.
Yeah,
you got to make sure everything inside. All the ingredients are listed.
Exactly, like what's right and what's allowed. Like if it's like before she used to do a lot of non-GMO stuff. So it's like, oh, you're only allowed so much of this to be classified. And so it's a lot of that.
Sure. Did she come from a business like family? She grew up in a business?
No, blue collar.
Okay.
Her dad worked at a warehouse and moved up to general manager of the place. He recently retired. And then her mom worked there. I think she got laid off and then just did drive a school bus and stuff like that and loves it and works at the library.
Oh, nice.
And so she loved it and stuff like that.
What type of advice has she I don't know, given you? You said she gave you some advice or help you with business.
I think it's just like I just wanted I know it sounds like cliche and cheesy and stuff like that, but I think she just made me want to be better and understand better. Like, 'cause I think before, like I used to, like when we first started the business, living at home. So it was like kind of a little bit where I think it was a little bit comfortable where you're like, I don't need to make that much money. That's fine. Right. Like, where with her, I was like, oh man, I want to be able to do these things. I want to do this. I want to get this. Mm-hmm. Like, and so I think she just kind of helped and listened to me a lot. Cause it was talking to my dad, even though we had the business together, it's a very different relationship. Where she was someone I felt like I could talk to kind of about struggles of what I felt where I was like, I don't know what to do with this. how do I handle this? Like, oh man, Dr. Drew emailed me and he's upset. Like, how do I handle it? Not that you're upset. He's never upset at me. I'm very talented. But like, how do I handle this? Like, just looking at for advice and second opinion. Like every video I do, I send to her pretty much, not in a sense because I'm like, oh, I don't trust myself, but I think it's good just to get that extra feedback. And whether it's your wife, your coworker, a friend, just someone that has no attachment to the project. That way then they can look at it and go like, oh, you know what? You did this. You should have said that.
Find like the most, it's like the most present in front of you thing. You're like, oh shit, I didn't see that.
How did I miss that?
Exactly. Right. I mean, it's literally finding my keys in the morning. You know, how does she find them? You know.
Yeah,
they're right there, but I don't see them.
You're just like so close into it that's like you're just kind of zoning in, and you hand it to the client, you hand it to whoever to check it out. Did you see this? How did I miss that?
No, there's always. I mean, it's like the Starbucks coffee cup in Game of Thrones they missed. You know what I mean? There's just things that get missed.
I don't think I heard of that. But that's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't hear that either. I'm not a Game of Thrones guy.
No,
but
I watched the first 2 episodes and the last 2 episodes, and boy, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So,
oh man, I love it. I love talking about. The work that you do is really good. Like I saw the testimonials that you kind of put together for Dr. Drew and all that. Like everything, like the shot, the quality, the lighting, everything is just so spot on. It's so clean. I'm telling you this because you probably are out of this phase or whatever, but like you should have the confidence to do, to pay, to say I am the best. This is great work that I do.
You're saying I should charge more?
I do. Maybe.
Dr. Drew, I think we'll have to have a talk
I appreciate
after this.
value. I appreciate value. I don't have a problem.
I'm glad you said that.
But his
I don't have a
stuff
problem
is
with
spot
value.
on.
Yeah,
His stuff is spot on. I mean, like I said, Cory, like I was watching the testimonials and everything was really good. Like the Ken Burns effect, right? Which is a term that I just know from like dabbling a little bit in video editing and like it's
what's
like,
that? I have no clue.
So I didn't necessarily use a Ken Burns effect. Ken Burns was a documentary filmmaker and did, I think, something on World War II or the Civil War, I believe.
Okay.
And so the Ken Burns effect is that you took a static photo, which would just sit there, but you scale it in slowly, so there'd be some kind of movement. And so that's the Ken Burns effect.
Right. But you said you didn't use that?
But I did not, because I didn't take photos and use them in the video. I used video. Well, no, actually, I did use a photo of your family, I think, when you talked about it. So I did use the Ken Burns effect in that case.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, but no, it's just more interesting because like I'll say this, like when Marissa was talking and it was she was kind of getting emotional, choked up, like it was starting to slowly zoom in on her and you're just focusing on her and you feel that. You know what I mean? Like so the way you were bringing that, it was just a small little thing, but it really hit home.
That's what I think I said earlier was like, I can teach anybody to edit and stuff like that, like cutting, dissolving, doing any effects. It's not that complicated, but it's that feel sometimes. I had a client we did for this project called The Power of We, and it was his video was so good. It was so incredibly good. But I remember him looking at me like, oh, you did that. He's a speaker, so it's very like, he looks at all the little things. Oh, you did this to mean this and this. Why'd you do that? And I was like, man, sometimes it's just that feel where you just go, it just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense to do this. This cut just does.
It's experience.
When you just kind of understand it and stuff like that.
And a lot of people don't have that quality, that trait.
That's the hardest thing.
That's something
or it's AI now, dude. It's all AI.
That's true.
I can't stand it, dude.
No, I know.
I mean, it's good for some things. Some things I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell it's AI.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just that human element sometimes to get. Like, I just did a video on my YouTube page talking about pausing. Because I think nowadays everyone just kind of cuts out pauses, and it makes more sense for like the short form content that you want it to get as fast as possible because people are scrolling.
Yeah.
But there's a power in pausing, that really kind of just
that's DB
can grab attention.
Damn day right there.
Yeah.
What goals do you have? Do you have like a set of goals as far as like where you want to get your business, like whether it's with employees or financial?
I think the biggest goal I want is I want to be able to have a small team. I want to be able to have a small team so that way then I can take my son, my wife, we can go on a vacation, and then also, and it's gonna sound goofy, I want to be able to throw Christmas parties every year.
Oh, that's amazing.
I want to be able to take the team, be like, we're gonna go to a wrestling show, we're gonna go to a comedy thing. I think that'd be, I just very much, I think I like that little bit of doing those things.
How many people on the team?
I'd say between 3 to 5.
Yeah.
I think I'd be happy with. Yeah,
is that a pretty standard like small business?
I think it is.
videography?
Yeah, for video production. Yeah,
Sure.
like because my dad had it before, like 40 people, but back then it was so specialized where you had someone that just did audio, someone that just did graphics. Where now it's kind of everyone's, got to be almost a little bit of a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
So
nice. What do you like typically do, like as far as like a financial goal? Like, do you have like a financial goal that you try to set every year? Or how does that work? Because I know we spoke with like referrals and business. Is there ever like a time where like, fuck, man, we don't have any jobs, or we need?
No, yeah.
Is it consistent with you, or like
it has been a lot more consistent than it has been before. I think before we used to always struggle because like before, like I said, when we first started, it was just ignorant in business where it was like, wow, we just got like, $5,000, like. We're good for months. Like, so we're paying ourselves like $200 a month. We're fine,
Sure.
And then you just don't do any, you don't get any sales. And then you kind of sit there like, oh God, we don't have any money. Like, so I kind of learned a little bit more to kind of look more at the numbers and understand. That's something Alan's taught me a lot more is to understand, like, you got to know your numbers. You got to know this. What are you spending? Just because you made, $15,000 this month doesn't mean you're profitable. You got to look at this and that. So, we work together and put sales goals and kind of ideas of where we want to hit. We don't usually go monthly. We usually go quarterly. It's kind of a better idea to do it and stuff like that because monthly can be, because the problem is sometimes we'll get a project that will go, hey, we're gonna start, but we're gonna do it in 2 months, and then then referrals sometimes. So it's just a lot of like they get stretched out sometimes.
Sure. What do you guys do on like your off time, like when you're not at shoots, besides like editing? Like what do you fill your day with?
Yeah. So I've been doing a lot more. I've been going to a lot more networking events. Kind of go to meet more people. I've been creating more content.
Mm-hmm. What type of events are these?
These are just local business get-togethers
like
and stuff
business
like
to
that.
Business, chamber of commerce.
Exactly. Just going doing that. I've been trying to make more videos ourselves, video content. I've been wanting to make like a strategy guide for how to incorporate videos, how to make videos and stuff like that for local businesses and stuff like that to pass out.
Yeah. If anybody's watching, looking for a videographer or anything like that, leave a comment below. Just some things that you would want to see on the videography side to like obviously hire Cory or hire somebody else. Do you want to see background stuff?
Don't hire somebody else.
Well,
what are you talking about?
if they're not in Illinois, yes, obviously.
They can still hire
if you're
me.
watching, you can, I guess. But yeah, like what do you guys want to see like on the marketing side from them? Do you want to see their videos? Do you want to see the back end? Do you want to see their equipment? Like, what do you guys want to see? Because when I, was referred to you, I didn't really care what, I just trusted the referral.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. No.
So there's a big faith in the referral because the person who sent me is not going to let down in a referral in that sense. But I never actually vetted you properly as like a typical consumer, like a cold lead would be. So if you guys have any comments or anything like that you want to see, or what would be the best thing that could help Cory in business, just to get like more of a consumer feedback, I think that'd be huge. And even for the podcast, if there's something here that we should be asking or things like that you guys want us to ask, leave in the comments below. Kind of go from there. So
I got one more quick question for you. I know you said you liked wrestling, right?
Oh yeah.
You've watched it since you were little, or
yeah.
There's like a lot of like cinematography overlap with wrestling. Wouldn't you kind of agree? Like the drama, the spectacle, the storytelling, a little bit. Is there like a? First of all, who's your favorite wrestler? And who was it growing up?
So growing up was probably Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah,
that's a classic.
Mine too.
Right now, I've
the
been
double beers, dude. Like.
Yeah.
Right now, I've been a huge fan of AJ Styles. I became a fan of him like 20 years ago.
Okay, wow.
Just
I haven't
coming across
kept up
a
with
random
it.
show. Oh yeah, I still watch
Stone Cold's the guy.
That.
He's just like the OG
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
But
that's awesome. I like understand because I feel like I see there's a lot of cinematography that overlaps with wrestling because whether you're setting up setting up an angle, or there's always like these conversations that are happening before the wrestling moves, like the actual matches take place. There's a lot. So like
production is huge.
A lot of production.
Funny you say that now because I feel like WWE has been called like cinema a lot lately. Just the storylines they did, this Bloodline Saga, but they had something with Roman Reigns fighting LA Knight. LA Knight wore those like reflective glasses, and the cameraman had in the shot where you see LA Knight's face and you see Roman in the reflectiveness of the glass. People like, that's cinema.
That's great.
That's cinema.
That's
but
amazing.
It is. But I do watch sometimes and look like, wow, look at that shot they did. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. Like that's a cool, unique thing.
But videography is not just like, I know we're tailoring it to you as far as, production and videos and stuff like that. But some of these, like I just went to a UFC fight live.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I mean, the production teams, it's insane.
Yeah.
The amount of cameras and lighting.
Wow, what goes on back in the truck.
Like when you see it on TV or any event on TV, you just don't realize until you're in person and you're like, holy shit, dude, there's like a team of 50 people running lights, running audio, cameras. Like it's insane, at least for sporting events.
Tying it back to wrestling, there was a NXT show, which was the developmental brand. And the director of it accidentally put their audio live to the audience and you can hear it. So you can go back and watch it to hear kind of like camera one, go, camera lights, this. Yeah. And so it's kind of interesting to be able to hear that to go, wow, how much goes into it.
Yeah, even on the news, like the general just news.
Sure. It's like movies. When you think about movies, like how is there even a good movie? Like it's crazy how many things that have to go right for a movie to be good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is. If you think about it, we just watch it.
That's right.
We take it for granted, but
it's a lot that goes into it.
You don't think about the production, the pre-production.
There's big money in that, dude. I know my wife used to work for Nordstrom. She was a regional marketing manager, and they hired a company out of Milwaukee called Magic. And the fees that these guys would charge for the production was insane for these events that they have like 300 people at these weekend events. But Nordstrom would make, $1 million, $2 million in a day or whatever on makeup and cosmetic stuff. But like everything was to the T. It didn't miss a beat in the production, and it was like if something went off south, it was like within 10 seconds, boom, like they had it figured out. So it's crazy to watch because it's almost chaos for them and getting it done, which it's probably you too on the back end. I mean, I don't feel like it's chaos, but you're probably making sure I can see you. I know when you're here, just running around all this stuff, making sure it all works. The audio's working, the camera's working, the battery's here, this one, this and that.
It's one of those things that I learned early on. I'm glad I did. Because I think it's a very important thing is you can plan as much as you want, but at the end of the day, something's going to go wrong. And you kind of have to adapt on how that's, because that's why you're being hired. And that's what also I think you should look for a production company. It's kind of hard to decide that when you're not in the moment, but if something goes wrong, how they're going to react. Oh, God dang it. And they get all upset, or they're able to go, all right, my light went out. What can we do to adjust? How can we make this work?
Right. Perfect content for your Instagram, Facebook. What should you do if this goes out? This is how I would handle it. Yeah. I think that'd be cool too. I mean, because you don't think of it as actually being on the consumer side. You just say, hey, I need you here, film this, or blah, 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 blah.
No, I know. That's what I try to focus on with the videos. I talk about like making outlines. Like you don't need to write a script, but you should write an outline. You should have an idea of what you're going to say. Otherwise, it's going to end up like a voicemail where you're just like, hey, Dr. Drew, do you want to hang out Tuesday? Also, I saw the Bears game. Also, I saw this new movie and this. And it's just like,
all over
what
the
is
place.
this? What does this even mean? Like, so it's just stuff like that.
Yeah.
Focus on.
Couple things.
Little preparation.
Yeah, I want to touch on. Do you have like a fear in business? Like, what's your biggest fear right now? Is it fear of like not being successful? Is it fear of like not being able to provide for your family? Like, what's your biggest fear with business? And then your biggest fear is like, I want to tie this back to like your family, like being a dad now, since it's new for you.
Yeah, probably not like being able to get enough sales so that way then I can provide for my family. I think that's something more so now being married, and then once I had Hunter, it just made it very, very different. Where it was like I have to do better. I have to understand more. I have to be more focused. I have to understand and be able to put myself out there more and get more in line with the contracts. Where I can't be like, I got stuff for $1,200, whatever. It's not at the end of the day,
right?
I have to be more, in line with those things.
Are you constantly thinking about that, or like you the guy that like can compartmentalize? Like, and disengage when you're at home, or, are you always thinking about business?
I'd love to tell you that, I 100% don't think about it, but I think about it a lot. I
Sure.
talk to my wife a lot about it. We'll just sit up at night.
That's normal.
Pretty natural.
What do you think about this? Oh, well, I got this going on. And And because she's so tied in with it, though she's not a part of the company, she's so tied into it that she'll ask me about things. Hey, have you heard from Dr. Drew yet? What's he going to do? Well, you could send that, so we talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
And obviously my dad and I talk about it. And
I
stuff
think
like
that's
that,
a common,
it is.
being a small business.
No, exactly. It's on your mind. It's your baby, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. You care about it a lot. I think it's tough too when you have a kid, is disengage from work and focus on them, because at the end of the day, there's only limited time with your kid.
Exactly.
Right. So, and that was a struggle for me in the beginning. I mean, it's still a struggle, but I feel like, I don't know. Sometimes you can't turn it off. You're always thinking if something goes south, oh shit, what do I gotta do here? And you're going down like the chain of command. Okay, if this happens, we're gonna go here. If this happens, we're gonna go there. If this happens, and sometimes you keep going down the path. You're like, fuck, nothing's working.
Yeah.
Like, what can I do? And then it bleeds into like your marriage or like the stress. And then you're talking about it and you're like, I don't want to talk about this today because I don't want to stress my wife out because she's dealing with some other personal issue. Mm-hmm. It's like it's tough, dude. I mean, I've struggled with that. I don't know if you have, Paolo, but like finances are always tough in business anyways, but keeping that dichotomy of that balance, it's always difficult. I struggle with it constantly. I don't know if you guys do, but because you always feel like you're gonna run out of money. We were talking to Tim Danowski, who's on the podcast as well. Just guys that have 8 figures in the bank and they're still worried about running out of money.
I was gonna say,
it's like I feel like it's a common,
everybody kind of feels, and it's something normal. But I think if you just have a plan, if you have,
like Tim said,
then it just helps you kind of get through and say, no, it's going to be okay. We have this, or I have this time dedicated to solve this later. Yeah. Right now, this is my priority.
Yeah. If you don't objectively say, okay, this is where we're at, this is where we want to be, and you don't have a plan, it's going to freak out even more. Yeah. So having a plan might not decrease your entire stress level on that, but at least you have a plan and you have some sort of roadmap and guiding, okay, this is how we can get there. If we don't, we can go here. And then that game plan's constantly pivoting, right? Because then you throw another kid in there. Or then somebody gets sick, or somebody hits something and now you got to fix your car or whatever it is. I mean, it happens. Like it happened to me. This happened. I got this bill. Then my wife hits a pole leaving here. I'm like, fuck, it's $2,500 for this to fix that. It's nonstop. But I think that's a huge stressor as well. Yeah.
But you seem like you're handling it quite well. You've got your wife's got your back. You guys talk pretty consistently,
which is awesome. Which is huge. Really that there's an open line of communication. It's even
really big.
Better too that she's on board with supporting you and loves you enough to let you do your job and focus on it and like gives you the encouragement.
No, she's incredibly great. She'll text me like sometimes if there's like a big project I'm running late or I need to stay at the office late. She always texts me like, not that you need to be home, but when do you think? That way she can at least suggest her day. But just to have that respect of understanding. Because there was a point where I was gone. I was in Indiana. I was in Chicago. I think I went to Florida. I was gone almost every weekend, like 3 days out of the week or 4 days. And she wasn't like, "Why are you doing this?" Like, she's very respectful. She's very, very respectful, and I understand she has that. She needs those things as well. But so I've been very fortunate and lucky that she has been so supportive and stuff like that.
What's your wife's name again?
Lauren.
Shout out to Lauren.
Yeah.
Awesome ball and chain.
That's, I mean, it is what it is. But if she doesn't understand, hey, Cory's doing this for us and the family, dude, that's something that you're not going to, it's tough to find somebody like that, whether it's a guy or a girl on either end of the spectrum.
No, I know. I've been very, very fortunate with how
to be selfless, essentially. Say, hey,
I was just going to say,
and then on the back end too, like she realizes, hey, he's working his ass off, providing for us, but he's also missing his kid. And I have the luxury of doing that, so it is what you're missing your kid the time.
Except for when he throws the temper tantrum, then she's kind of like, where is this guy
at
home?
Yeah, I've been there.
We all have.
But but besides videography, what else are you passionate about? Like, what else do you love? I mean, I know you love WWE and things like that, but like, what are some passions that you have besides outside of that stuff?
I love movies. Mm-hmm. I've always been a big movie fan.
Like, you go to the movie theater?
I like going to the movie theater, yeah. I haven't been as much of a movie theater person lately. I bought my wife for her birthday a few years ago the AMC subscription, which was cool. So we go see 3 times a week and stuff like that. Theater. Yeah. I always love watching movies. Love watching movies and shows to kind of just, I don't know, learn those different stories and experience those different things. Something I've always really enjoyed.
Any movies that you've seen recently that you recommend?
I just watched Weapons recently.
Okay.
By Zach Krager. It stars Josh Brolin and the girl from Ozark. I don't remember her name. Julia Gardner.
Okay.
That was a pretty good movie. It's pretty good. I
Ozark's
recommend it. It's like a horror.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Is that the drama you kind of try to lean towards?
No, I just like everything. I really not picky. Like when I go, get a haircut, sometimes I'll be like, yeah, just, whatever you think looks good. And I go to the restaurant, sometimes I'm like, oh, whatever you feel, you know. Same with the movie. I love romantic comedies. I love comedies. I love dramas. I love foreign. I'm a big proponent of just seeing everything.
What's your favorite movie theater? Are you the guy that like has the recliner seats and they bring the food to you?
You need the recliner seats.
Now they all have recliner seats.
But you gotta be careful though. I have fallen asleep in a movie theater once or twice.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful.
They got the hot and cold on there too.
Oh man, when I experienced the hot for the first time, that was a game changer.
On the movie theater, on the seats?
Yeah. Don't you go to the movie theater?
I can't remember the last time I went to a theater.
Dude,
No, I know.
You're missing
They had
out, dude.
updated a lot.
I mean, I go to all the kids movies now with the kids.
Yeah.
And they got hot and cold seats. They got ventilated seats.
Yeah.
York Theater, downtown Elmhurst, dude.
They got ventilated seats over there?
They got. I don't know if they're ventilated, but they got hot and cold, and they
Whatever.
recline. They do serve
It's
beer
to
there,
get people to come in because so many people don't come to the movies anymore.
Right.
So.
which is a crazy business, dude. Because like these movie theaters, for what they charge, it's like nothing. I mean, they whack you on the popcorn and stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Free refills.
But like,
Yeah, I don't remember what the cut is for movies. I think it's like they get 70% of the movie the first week or something. I mean, it's not 70, it's like 60%. Then it goes down
Oh, interesting.
week after week, like the percentage and stuff like that. Because that's where usually what they say, where a movie like, oh, Avatar costs $200 million, but it needs to make $400 million to break even, because they say, well, with marketing costs is usually like $100 million, usually a quarter of it or half of it. And you got to think, the cuts of the theater and then advertising, all this stuff. So it's interesting. I'm into movies and looking at like the box office. It's always very interesting to me, that kind of world, and to learn about it.
oh, totally, dude. I want to talk about this thing. Taylor's your first employee you've hired.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be a boss? Is it weird? I'm trying to think of my first employee I hired.
No, yeah, it does feel weird because I feel like
You got to take care of her, right? Like you got to like make sure you got jobs for her.
yeah, no, I have to have stuff for her to do.
Hit payroll, right, Taylor?
And then when she's like,
Give her leadership, help her.
Well, the worst
Let
is
him talk for fucking 5 seconds.
the worst is like when she's like, oh, I have vacation with my family. I'm like, oh, like family, you still do that? Like,
He's kidding.
that's so strange of you.
Yeah.
No, it's been, I think it's been an interesting experience. I think I've been very fortunate to kind of get to work with Taylor. And so, like I said, I got the opportunity because Scott Grinke, my teacher at Illinois Media School, recommended to her. And so she's been able to we've been able to work well together. We jive, which is good. That's one thing, the humor, we can joke and have fun together. You don't want to go to work with someone like, oh God, I got to deal with Taylor today.
The worst.
God. But I think that, she understands kind of a little bit about the business and kind of like, hey, I'm here to help and do this. So I think that helps a lot, but I asked her, I think the first time we worked together or edited a project together, she edited. I said, hey, like, what did you think of the project? What could you have done better? What are you gonna do better next time? And then what could I have done better to set you up for success? Because that's what I wanted to make sure was I knew I didn't want to be, a boss or working together that was like, oh, you didn't do this. Like, why didn't you get this? Because like, I feel like it's easy for me. I got not an argument with my wife, but when we first moved in our first house, we were setting up lights or something like that at the ladder. And I was like, oh. And she's like, what? I was like, Lauren, you didn't move that over there. She's like, you didn't tell me. I was like, I know, but I just want you to know that. Like,
Yeah, that's tough, dude.
So
I get that.
That's what I don't want to do.
Not just at home, but at work too.
Exactly. You don't want to do that with people. And that's what I kind of try to,
It's tough because your mind's going.
No, I know.
You see the vision, but for some reason you got like, you can't get the words out.
And so that's
whether your mind is going, but no, that's huge because like even in our like the employees that we have, like we know that they're not going to be with us forever, right? We get that, but what we can do is we can say, hey, where you're at and where you'd like to be, or how can we help you get there? And we appreciate all the effort that you do for us. If we can help educate you, give you more credibility in the space that you want to be in, I think that's huge. And obviously I think building a brand and building a family in that sense of, just that culture that you have in the workplace, and then still obviously the dichotomy of you're the boss or whatever employee, but that relationship you have, because that builds culture. Nobody wants to work at a shitty spot where you get like a corporate office where fuck, this guy's an asshole or whatever it is. Because there's plenty of people that are watching this that work corporate, and they're like, I can guarantee they're thinking of some asshole that sent them a shitty email, but it was like passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I don't want that. Like, there's no drama, like at least in our office, because I don't like that. I want to make sure that everyone's comfortable. I'm comfortable, because if the team's not comfortable, the customer is going to have some sort of like understand. They're going to feel that vibe, right? Like you can feel, like if you were on a shoot and you were working with somebody that wasn't good, they could feel the vibe and sense that. It's just not good for business either. But yeah, I think having employees definitely gives you more of that stress and responsibility, like that you got to provide for them. Almost, like not like a father figure, but you have that like, that innate that you want to help and make sure that you're giving them the best. And then sometimes you're like, am I helping? Am I doing everything I can? You got to ask yourself that. I mean, in the beginning, I didn't do that. Where like, hey, what can I do better? Yeah. Because you're always like, I need this, this, and this. But you got to self-reflect. And then, having employees, it just everybody's different. Like you can talk to Taylor differently than your dad. You can get the message across.
Yeah, she won't talk back to me.
Well, maybe not that, but like okay, it is what it is. Like we have girls that work for us for 5 years, for 4, for 6, and like just we can talk to them differently just based off how they communicate. And that was a learning experience for me, and I'm sure that's going to happen with you with different employees, from female to male and things like that. But no, it's cool.
Real quick, someone I like to listen to a lot, Simon Sinek. I don't know if you've heard of him before. He talks about leadership and a lot. And one thing that he says quite often that I like a lot is, leadership isn't about being in charge so much. It's taking care of those in your charge, basically. So like you're helping them get to the next level. You're almost like a servant to them, getting them to the next level. Yeah, they do stuff for you. Yeah, they help you out here and there, but also you're kind of a stepping stone, kind of like what Drew said with the girls the techs that work with you. You're kind of a stepping stone, getting them to the next level. So it's again not always you're in charge. This is what I have. This is what I'm asking you to do. Is what I'm telling you to do. But taking care of them in your charge. So I see that, and I kind of saw that today a little bit. So
yeah, it's almost like you got to be selfless. Like I say, like you have to be selfless as a boss. Like you have to come last. Everyone else has to come before you. Like you eat last in that sense. And you do at the end of the day. You do eat last as far as at the end of the day. You got to make sure everything's paid, and then whatever else you get. But it sounds crazy, but if you don't own a business, that's how you feel. That's stress of that.
No, it's true.
But having employees is probably the greatest joy, because it sucks when you are alone. Like I've been there where it's just like you and somebody else, and you're like, fuck man, like I need the help, but I can't have the help because I can't afford the help. And then until you can, but then when you get the help, you're like, oh my God, why the fuck didn't I do this before? And you're like, this is great. Obviously there's challenges to having employees, but at the same time, you're like, man, we can go a lot faster and do a lot more things productively and have a better overall customer experience, and at a certain point, you're like, okay, I'm good here.
Yeah, but teamwork makes the dream work. Dude, that's what it's all about.
It does.
Like you said, there's definitely what's the word? A cap to that, right? Because then it can get you out of control. Everyone's
sure.
But and you see it in your business every day. Like it's not just you just running the show. You've got a lot of people there, and I think that's something that you could definitely incorporate in your business as well.
Do you have like a brand, like a brand book or like a guide that like you have for like future employees or like for yourself or for Taylor that like, hey, this is
working on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think I talked to Taylor about something like, oh, you should use this. And she's like, do you have something? And I was like, I should make something. Like, I should get it from out of here.
It's good because employees then understand, hey, this is who we are. And it's, it's marketing in the sense of you're branding yourself to your employees.
No, exactly.
They could work anywhere else, but why should they work with Cory and Calvision?
Well, that's what I asked you. I think when we first did together, do you have a brand guide or a style guide, to make sure that I'm representing the brand and using the correct stuff.
It's helped tremendously.
No, I totally understand. But it's one of those things I think a lot of people.
It's the last thing on the end.
You preach it, but you just, you don't do it yourself.
Yeah. And I only say that because like we didn't have a brand book when we started. And now that we do have a brand and we follow the brand format, it attracts employees that want to be similar to your brand. So like your hiring process is cut down because one, they're going to vet themselves after reading about your brand, going over your socials and stuff like that. And then two, there's an expectation that's set. So they know exactly what the expectation is for you and to be part of the family and be part of the team. So, and I didn't learn that until, man, I was like 2-3 years in the business and I'm like, fuck, we can't keep employees. Is it me? Is it, we're not paying them enough? Like, are we not clear on expectations? Like, what is it?
Brand guidelines is solid.
It's not like like your black book corporate where it's black and white, but it goes over everything from like your motto, your values, like how we started, where we're at, what are our essential, where is our essentially this is our standard for here. This is what we expect. This is what you can expect from me as an owner, operator, whatever. I think that's critical. I think all businesses should have a brand book, especially small businesses. Helps with the hiring process, helps with employees, and just overall just keeps you on brand because you can get off brand. I mean, it's very easy. I don't know about your line of work, but with us, it's very easy. And you have a staple to refer back to, almost like a roadmap, like we talked about. Like we gotta know where you're going. If you don't have a plan, then you're SOL. I think a lot of people just shoot from the hip because they just want to start and they don't have those things, which is kind of what I did. But you learn them, and if you don't learn them quick, you can be out of business real quick. But yeah. Any life mottos?
See, if the glass is half full, don't look at it half empty. Look at it as a way that you can just fill more water. You can just get more water. I think that's a good way to look at it.
How do you give me an example?
Like,
in your life?
like when they say, like, oh, is the glass half full or is it half empty?
Yeah.
So you just look at it as, it's an excuse just to get more water. I'm not really sure how that relates to anything, but I just like that saying. And I think it's just look at the positives. You can always do more. You can always figure things out. Though it may look like it's all empty and it's gone, you can still go get more.
You got to be thankful for what you have.
So there, I actually do have something.
No, that's solid.
Brought it together.
I like that. That kind of builds on because I'm always half full. Like I'm the optimistic guy. Like it's half full. We got some water there. But you're kind of like just taking a step further. You're saying
it's an opportunity.
It's half full, but let's go get some more of that.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to fill the glass.
Water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
What are there like things as far as like motivation? Like when you get up, do you have like a routine where like, things you listen to, whether it's podcasts or on Spotify, or not just videography specific, like to keep you motivated, or things that do?
I don't know if I really have a specific morning routine. Like, I think I just kind of wake up, I brush my teeth, I drink a cold glass of water.
Nice.
And then if the kid's up, we kind of go with that. If not, then I just kind of hang out for a bit, maybe check emails. Yeah. I'll watch something, exercise. We got a new house, so we built like a little gym in the garage.
Nice.
So
I love that.
If he's asleep, I'll go do that real quick and,
Yeah. But as far as like keeping your mindset for business and growth, are there any platforms that you like, again, is there any YouTube videos you watch or any like other influencers or things like that?
Follow,
I listened to a lot of I think his name's Ryan Weber, and he's a video marketer. I think he's out in the East Coast. I listen to him a lot. There used to be a group they unfortunately shut down on Facebook, like a video production group that kind of talked about business and with video and AI and how to handle things and pricing and everything like that. Marcus Rideout was his name, and he was really interesting. But I don't know if he still looks for that or he was one of those people that are like, Facebook's dead, like we're gonna find a new platform. I don't know what happened with that. Yeah, I know. Some people are like that, like Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg killed it. Like,
people have
everyone's always like that.
People have been saying email marketing is dead, and that's, you can't, your email's flooded with email marketing.
It's the worst. I tried to unsubscribe from so many.
And they just keep coming back.
There was a day a couple months ago where I'm like, dude, today I'm just going to take the time and I'm going to click the unsubscribe instead of deleting it. Yeah. Because I'm so tired of just hitting delete. And it's like, I'm just going to fuck it. I'm just going to spend the time and unsubscribe.
Okay.
And I love how they say, this might take 5 to 10 days for this to update.
That's true.
5 to 10 days. I just clicked unsubscribe. How does it take 5 to 10 days? Because if I put my email in, the next second I'm getting an email.
Do you have something to say? I have something about that.
I just saw a great meme about that recently where it was like, take the second to delete take the 2 seconds to unsubscribe or take the second to delete. And they're like, delete.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's what I do a lot too. I'm like, why did I unsubscribe?
I saw a meme too, actually, about that. It's like, you hit the unsubscribe button. Now we have to put this note on the mule's back and it needs to go across the entire Sahara Desert to deliver this.
We should do that for people that unsubscribe for us as a joke.
Yeah, that's pretty
Say,
funny.
hey, this was funny. Please subscribe again or something like that.
But the reason why it takes days to actually unsubscribe Drew at drewsemail.com.
Probably because I'm already in the campaign.
Exactly. Campaigns are already set up ahead of time. They're scheduled. You're in a list.
Yeah.
That list gets updated every 3 days, whatever it is. And this is just a loose explanation. But like your campaigns are already scheduled to go today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. Like, and that's it. Like I'm not taking you out of the list if you unsubscribe today. But I did a little bit of email work and I understand the frustrations. People used to get crazy with some of the stuff that they respond back with. Like it just got dark.
I've had people on our email list just respond back like, stop fucking sending me emails. I'm gonna fucking come there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write you these bad reviews. And I'm like, dude,
I'm trying.
I don't even know how you got on the email list, or it was like a bad experience with a client. And I'm like, I'm messaging like whoever. It wasn't you at the time.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, we gotta get this guy off. Like he's tweaking out. Like, and I'm like, just hit unsubscribe. Like, it is what it is. Like, sorry, we emailed you.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't need to go crazy.
People go crazy with email, and they go even crazier with SMS messaging. And there's laws actually that you can't message a user more than I think 6 times in a month. I think in Illinois, and I could be mistaken.
For what? Like selling something?
Yeah, right. Like a marketing message. We have this special going on.
I know we have something like that set up where they got to subscribe.
Well, well, you've got like a transactional thing where it's like, hey, this is what's happening. That's okay. But if you're selling something,
sure,
you can't do it a certain amount of times in a month, and you can get sued.
Yeah, your privacy and policy pages and all that stuff. They actually make us do. I don't know if probably not for you because you don't do the SMS stuff. But they make you do like, not a course per se, but like you got to go through this whole thing. Like it is a kind of like a course, and it tells you all these rules, and you have to like sign up for it. And if you like, there's all these stipulations, like you're going to fine this and that if somebody reports you, which was crazy. Because like, I mean, I'm not texting people 6 times in a row or whatever, but I could see how people could go crazy with that, you know? But yeah. But what do you think about, you don't like Facebook? You think it's dead or what? Instagram or videos or what? I mean, what's the new platform for videos besides YouTube? I think YouTube is just...
I think YouTube's still the number one because creators can make the most money on it. Like TikTok is like you get the most reach, but the problem is they just don't pay their creators very well. So everyone tries to build those... Pretty much any new service that comes up, everyone will build their platform there, then try to get everyone over to YouTube as fast as they can.
On TikTok?
Yeah, TikTok, Instagram,
I hate
anything like that. They all
TikTok
want to go to
with
YouTube.
passion.
I don't have TikTok.
But
Neither do I.
You don't have
know.
any
I
social
just-
media.
No, I do not. You're right.
No, that's the
LinkedIn.
problem is I just feel like I used to post stuff on social like, oh, I'm going to go see the new X-Men movie. And then like I get those memories sometimes. I'm like, why did I post? Nobody cares.
No one cares.
So I feel like...
I can't stand it either, but we have to be.
I agree.
No, that's the
stand
problem.
social media, but we have to be on it. It's
I have that
such a pain in the ass.
mindset with it where it's annoying, and I'm like, oh, now I'm trying to build the mindset of like I gotta post.
Yeah.
The worst is like doing a shoot, and like I'm like Taylor, we gotta take a behind the scenes picture. We gotta take a behind the scenes picture, or even just Alan or whoever's with me, and then we'll leave and I'll drive back. I'm like, I didn't take the picture. Like
that's the worst. I mean, I feel like constantly just ads.
That's what social media has become.
And
it's just
like,
ads.
It's like
just
I don't know what
ads.
the percentage is. Probably look this up, but it's got to be like 80% ads on your feed.
I was
and
gonna
only
say
20%
definitely
actual stuff.
high.
And on top of that too, like I really don't give a shit. Okay, about
What you
somebody's
ate today.
picture.
What you ate today.
I don't care. You know, like I'm on it because of business and we got to be out in branding and stuff like that. But like my wife loves it. My wife, she's a marketer herself. Right. She went to Columbia downtown, you know, everything marketing major, this and that. She loves it. She does all the cool, you know, things you can tag on there. Dude, I'm more of a viewer. That's who I am. I don't know what the percentage of viewers versus posters, but like I can't tell you last time I posted something.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often. And here's another thing. It's getting to the point where ads you know it's an ad because it says ad in the top right. There's a little CTA right there.
Yeah.
But sometimes now these posts are ads, like an actual post of a dude talking, and there is no CTA. There is no like little. It's like getting you to.
They're supposed to, because I know Kim Kardashian gets in trouble a lot for that. A lot. She'll make a post, and then like 6 hours later, it'll be like, oh, add the ad into it after the fact. You're not supposed to do that. I think maybe she's adjusting now because so many people complain. Because you're supposed to let people know
little loophole
when it's an ad.
Right.
Exactly.
But
like,
you're selling your service. Like you're doing this. You're posting about this, and like, oh, check out this over here, my website, and you can learn more. And I'll sign up for my course, whatever. It's like, dude.
But isn't social media everything? I mean, it's an ad on everything. Like every time we post a video, it might not be a direct call to action, but it's like, hey, this is a tips and tricks and get you interested into.
Yeah,
well, that's
following
the idea.
Us. I mean,
is like
it's
are
basically
trying to
like
yourself.
It's a advertising platform.
Yeah,
I mean, who uses it to post photos and videos?
People do.
I'm sure they do.
People do. It wasn't like that before. I had Facebook. I had Twitter. I had all that stuff.
Imagine if MySpace actually was able to run ads, dude. They'd be just as big as Facebook.
Yeah,
a bygone era.
But like you said, people don't like being sold to. And when I'm on social media,
but that's why the selling process is pivoted. Dude.
Yeah, it has.
It's not just like, hey, an ad you see like on a commercial or whatever. It's giving you that result, right? Like health insurance companies, Cigna, all these, dude, they give you this beautiful ad. They attract you. They got shit health insurance, okay? Shit health insurance. They spend all this money on these ads,
right? Or
the like pharmaceuticals, right? All this stuff. Hey, Ozempic, blah 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 blah. Lose weight, this and that.
Right.
All bullshit. Okay.
It's not get started. It's a whole other conversation.
And then on top of it, the terrible benefits. It's just giving you that result, right?
Right.
Like,
right.
It's just that's how I see social media now. I don't ever post anything. It's just more of a platform for a brand.
Yeah.
So it's more of a branding platform for whoever, like, again, branding for being an influencer, branding for a business, because you're going to look at their brand. You're going to look at their platforms.
No,
and so
of course.
the sales process and the consumer has changed. It's not like you can just get a referral or like there was Yellow Pages. You just look up like this. There's so many platforms that you have to be present on. Like, it's exhausting.
No, it is.
As a
it's
business
a whole
owner.
other thing.
And as a viewer, you're like, dude, sometimes you don't even like the amount of content we push out on our socials. And like, in order for somebody to get in front of it, and we push out a lot of content daily, 3 or 4 posts. We're constantly doing everything from YouTube to Facebook to Instagram. The clinic's got a TikTok, all that stuff. Like, just to get ahead of those ads, it's impossible because you're still putting out so much content and you're engaging and you're asking questions. But like, if you're not paying for ads or paying for brand presence, it's like you're just not going to be in front of people.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's 100% true. You got to be in front of people.
Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind.
For you, it's great because people are going to be hiring you forever.
That's what I hope.
So, I mean, I don't see it going away. I mean,
No,
it's
I
all
don't think
visual.
so.
Nobody
It's
reads
all,
nothing.
It's all just evolve.
You know?
It's like radio, I think. When I remember the trade school I went to did radio, web, TV. And the guy who was running iHeartRadio was like, radio's not dead. It's just evolved.
Yeah.
Because that's when it kind of went more streaming and all that stuff. So it just evolves. Everything evolves. And
Do you
gotta
listen to,
go with
are you
it.
a Sirius XM guy or satellite radio? Or are you like a regular,
No,
like
just regular
AM,
terrestrial,
FM?
yeah.
I feel like with the ads, dude, I'll pay the fucking $20 or whatever for Sirius because I don't want to hear the ads.
I understand that. Yeah. A lot of times I just
same
listen
fucking
to a
ads.
YouTube video. If there's something I'm like, oh, I want to listen to.
I pay for the YouTube
this or
Premium
that.
because I do not want the ads.
I get it.
Brutal.
I totally understand.
It's like every whatever minute, 2 minutes, like it's just ads, dude.
Yep.
Like if I want to research something or watch something, I just want to watch it
and
in
not
full.
be interrupted.
Comedian
Yeah.
Bo Burnham mentioned this, I remember a long time ago. He said this in an interview where like it was all about land, owning land. We own all the land. He's like, now it's about owning your mind, your attention.
Sure.
And that's what it is, you know?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I talk about wrestling. That's what a lot of it is now.
everywhere
There's so
you
many
go,
ads. You're like,
there's
oh,
advertising when you're driving,
yeah.
whether it's billboards or signs or, whatever it is, it's constantly advertising, dude. But, yeah, I mean, I don't think advertising is going to go away. I don't think it ever has. If anything, it's gotten bigger.
It'll just evolve.
Evolves.
Yeah.
Like
Where do you see like videography going? Like, is there like a pivot in the market? Do you see like different, not just trends, but like, hey, for like,
So I think the biggest, I don't know if it's a trend, but I think it's not about the equipment. So I think production companies used to before be like, oh, we shoot on Canon, we have Red. I don't think the equipment really matters as much anymore.
Okay.
Tech is all the same now.
Yeah, because a lot of it's like, it's like, oh, this shoots in 8K resolution and this one shoots in 6K. It's like nobody really sees the difference. I think it's more about how it's being used, what's being told, how like you said about the editing and how we pieced it together. I think that's really what matters.
Right.
If any production company comes to you and goes, well, we shoot on this camera, it's like that's what they're selling you.
Dude,
the equipment.
The
equipment doesn't matter.
Clue,
right.
No, exactly. That's the thing. I remember a long time ago when I was starting out, someone asked me to film like a football game. They're like, oh, but we need you to film on a Red like Dragon. I was like, a Red Dragon? That's a $50,000 cinema camera. And you want me to film like a football game? What are you even talking? It's not even a pro game. Like, it's like, what are you even talking about?
Game.
So I think that's the thing is people hear the keywords and ask for it, but it's not about that. And that's the thing is you got to educate. I mean, just like you.
Sure.
Just like you got to educate them to understand in a way that obviously it's not insulting, but understand that.
To touch on that, because that's a key point too. Like, what's a common misconception that like a negative misconception that people have about like videographers or like production companies?
I think a lot of people think because they have a phone, maybe they have a camera that I can do it myself. So it's like when you give them a price, you're like, oh, this commercial's going to cost $10,000. It's like, why is it going to cost
them
that?
On the value?
I think it's just explaining the difference between like, look, if you want to, because I think a lot of people I've had come to me be like, oh, well, we want to do 6 different locations. We want this, we want graphics. And when you try to, you have to just kind of explain to them like, okay, well, this is a different process. This is what the process is. My dad always kind of said this, and I've kind of used it as like, look, when you're building a house, you can build like a small, ranch style house, or you can build a mansion. There's different parts and processes to it, and this is what this is. So I think it's just explaining that. But I think that's a misconception is that because I have a camera, I can do it myself. Because in a lot of cases you can. I just did a networking thing last night. I mentioned it or yesterday when I introduced myself. I was like, yeah, it's tough because you really don't need to hire a production company. You can do your own roof, you can do your own flooring, you can watch your own kids.
Yeah, especially with the DIY stuff now, dude. Like all those stuff on YouTube.
YouTube University, dude.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
But then the thing it comes down to is like when I met Dr. Dan, what was interesting with him was he was like, I know photography, I know videography, I have a camera, I know how this all works. It's just the time.
Oh, me too.
And that's the biggest thing. It's like the time, you can do it yourself, but do you want to invest the time into it? Some people really just enjoy it and want to do it. More power to them. But it's just depending on the time of the investment.
Yeah, the time, the energy, just delegate it.
And plus, like you do it on the reg, like you're doing it consistently.
Exactly.
So I don't. So your result is going to be better than mine. I can do it. But your result is going to be better than mine.
Because the biggest thing is like when I film my own videos, it's like, you get it there, you go, okay, I'm going to talk about this. You talk, and then you go to your editing. You're like, oh my God, why did I say this? Oh God, like now the video's all trash and I wasted like 3 hours of my life or 6 hours. Where if you have someone that's filming, I can kind of come in like, hey, Dr. Drew, like you're slouching. You got a booger. Someone walked in the background you hold on the camera, the autofocus freaked out. I can fix it. Where if you're doing it in front of your camera, you may not know that the focus went out and you're just talking, you come back, oh, now it's unusable.
Yeah. I see it as like, well, he's going to be the best to do it. If he doesn't do it right, then like, you're not going to get paid till you do it right. So, I'm the consumer. I feel like that's a lot of consumers. Nobody wants to do it. Not that nobody wants to do it, but you have a passion for it.
Yeah.
You're educated in it or we're not in the time and energy. But no, anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. I think we hit a lot.
We did.
I think we hit a lot.
Yeah. Where can people find you?
They can find us at our website, calvisions.com, or they can find us on YouTube at, I think just Calvisions. They can search
just
up.
Like a submission, like contact page or?
Yeah, we have a discovery form on our website they can fill out if they have anything, or if they want to reach out with any questions, they can find me on LinkedIn or Facebook as well.
Yeah, we'll leave all of Cory's information in the description below. Done phenomenal work. I was referred to Cory. That's how I found him. Just great stuff. Take a look at, he's going to increase his posting on Instagram and Facebook. So look at his stuff and vet him. But he's great. You got my referral, which you can trust. But yeah, thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate your time. Look forward to working with you in the future. If there's anything we could do or help, we'll have you definitely back on and go from there. But yeah, you guys watching the video, thank you for watching it to the end. Again, if you like the content, please share, like, subscribe. That's the only thing that we ask, the only fee that we charge. If you don't like it, well, stop watching the video. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Thanks all. Thanks everybody.